But neither here nor there. Let's get to this show. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Y'all got some damn nerve. All right, who is y'all and what nerve do they got and why? So I want to share a story with y'all. Share a story with y'all that happened last week with me. And I was caught off guard by it, but I thought it was an amazing thing. I thought it was an amazing thing. Not necessarily in a good way. I just was like, oh shit, this is like, all right, this is a situation. So, and it all focuses around who we allow to determine how we think and who we give power to speak for us on our situations and to have these super strong opinions on our situations. So I'm gonna go through it real quickly, but hopefully I just want to make sure that I'm thorough in it. But so I'm at Soho House. I'm at Soho House and I meet a couple nice ladies, and we just sit there, you talk. It's a social club. So we're sitting there and we're talking about, what each other does. One person's telling me that she's into flipping homes, but she also does like some dope stuff in the AI space. So I was intrigued. I'm like, okay, like that's the type of thing I want to learn about. Like once I start getting intrigued by stuff like that, everything else is out the window. Like I'm just trying to think like, yo, I want to learn about this. Your dad flips homes. Okay. I want to learn about that. You're in the AI space. That's something that I know nothing about, something that I always hear could threaten this job, that job. I want to learn about it. So whatever. That's, we say, oh, I'll be here. I don't think I told them that I'd be there the next day, but we said like, oh, we'll connect soon. And because I had to run. So I was like, we'll connect soon, talk more about the homes. That's just something that I'm really into. So the next day I get a message just saying, hey, I'm at Soho. If you wanted to chat, we can touch base now. I'm just doing some work. It was one of the girls. So I'm like, all right, cool. But I had to run. I actually had to go to a conference and then I had to run back to the apartment. And I said, I got to run, but, I'll stop by and just say, what's up? So I stopped by. We started talking, about the real estate, so buying this home, flipping this, selling this home, whatever. And I should have known when this comment was made where the conversation was going to go. When she was talking about her new home, her plans, and she said, yeah, I'm just going to renovate the bathrooms and the kitchen. And with that, I think I'll be able to make a significant profit. So I said, oh, dope. Now, remember what I said? She said her dad helps her flip homes. That's what he does for a living. So I said, oh, dope. Like, is your dad going to be able to renovate the kitchen and bathrooms for you? And her response was, wait, you think I can't renovate bathrooms and a kitchen because I'm a woman? I said, wait, what? Like, no, like, I think you can't renovate bathrooms and a kitchen because most people can't renovate bathrooms and a kitchen. Like myself, I can't renovate bathrooms and a kitchen. I didn't think that was a thing that most people are able to do. So this is where the conversation was going. Then it went here. And this is why I say, like, y'all got some nerve. Some of these people have like the audacity, a lot of these people, but I'm always here for it. I'm always here for these combos. I love it. She gave me a show topic today. So then I'm sitting there and she comes out the blue and says, so I stalked your Instagram. I said, oh, okay. And she said, I have questions. I said, like, who the fuck? Like, who the think she talking? Like, I'm like, hold up. Like, I'm like, all right, what's up? What's up? So she starts, she talked about like 3 different posts, which she clearly didn't even like I don't even think she actually listened to the entire post or read it. But the first one was discussing, and keep the gender stuff in the back of your head too. But the first one, she was like, oh, I saw something about religion where you said that spirituality is, and she couldn't even say what I said. And I finished it for her. I said that spirituality perhaps is religion without accountability. And she said, yeah. She said, well, just because you're super religious, or you must be super religious. And I'm sitting there just looking at her like you have no idea who I am, clearly. And I've never had anybody, I haven't had, it's been a while. I don't think I've ever had somebody accuse me of being super religious, because y'all know I'm not religious, but I always identified more spiritually. And that was the entire point of the post. Like, me as somebody who doesn't identify with a religion, who identifies as being spiritual, I had to wonder, if spirituality, what I embrace, is just the religion aspect without the accountability, because there's no rules or guidelines when it comes to just the spirituality aspect. So I said, did you like read the post? Like, did you actually listen to it? Because if you listen to it, you would know that I'm like the furthest thing from religious. That was the whole point of it. Or at least that was my initial, like, what I typically embrace. Like me, y'all know me, shoot, especially like years ago on here, I used to be coming at religions, man, coming at him. I just, neither here nor there. So that was the first one. Then she says something about, I don't know how we got on it exactly, where it transitioned to gender roles, where she kind of just said, well, what about the gender roles? Or you said something that um men need to do it, we're the same. And I said, no, men and women are absolutely not the same. We are totally different, totally different. And she says, no, well, we're the same, and studies and scientific research prove that. And I said, what studies and scientific research? I said, show me the studies and the scientific research, and maybe you'll change my opinion on it. But until then, no, like, genders, we're not the same. So then she's telling me about what her mission is in life, and how she told me that, well, you need to have an open mind for us to have this conversation. You need to be open to what I'm saying. And I said, interesting. I said, I said, listen, I said, your tone and you telling me that I need, like, who do you think you are to walk into a conversation with me and tell me what I need to do? I said, I don't need to do anything. However, and I said, we don't need to have this conversation. And I told her, I said, but going back to what you said you had studies and research. I said, I'm always open. I always tell y'all I'm open to, I may be wrong. I'm going to stand on what I stand on. But if somebody can, present certain information to me where I'm wrong, yo, I'm always down to change my opinion, which is why I've changed my opinion on so many different things. If you scroll through my social media and you come across certain things that I was saying 5, 6, 3 years ago, it may have changed. It definitely has changed. So she tells me, what did she say? She was going off on a tangent and was just like, well, so then I said, well, I said, we're just not the same. And I said, we shouldn't be treated the same. And I said, so if I get into a fight with a woman, I said, you're looking at like that the same as if two women get into, or I didn't even say the second part. I said, so if I get into a physical fight with a woman, and that's just, regular fight, just no issue there. She said, I would look at it the same as a woman getting into a fight with a woman, that just the violence is bad. And I said, wait, what? And then she tried to kind of retract that. And then she said, well, besides physical, we're the same. So I said, you keep saying that, and you keep trying to avoid this quote unquote clinical research and studies that you said that prove your point. I said, do you have that? I said, but here you're telling me what I need to do and what I need to be open to, but you have no background. I said, you have no, like, nothing backing up your point. So then, like, I didn't tell you, what race this woman was. She's a white woman. So then I said, the post that I talk about, especially with gender roles, um, me being a black man, uh, the not embracing gender roles, in my opinion, I'm just telling y'all, in my opinion, not embracing gender roles is one of the most destructive things that have happened to our community. And I said specifically, our men not living up to the role that our men need to play as the masculine role. I don't believe in masculine or feminine. What do you mean you don't believe in masculine or feminine? Okay, she doesn't believe in masculine or feminine. So I said, listen, I said, your entire energy, this conversation shows a lot of the privilege that you have as a white woman. I said, you don't even understand how my community has been affected by the lack of gender roles, by the lack of us not living and fulfilling our particular roles so that we can hold up. Oh shoot, hold on 1 second, my computer about to die. Hold up. Hold up. We good. We good. Wait, what? Hold on. Whew. I caught it just on time. So pretty much, so I'm telling her, Aunt Ro, you are way more patient than I. Yeah, that's what my pop said too. But I actually welcome these conversations. For one, they give me some topics to have real life situations to talk about with y'all and to learn from. But I also learn from it, and I'm able to have some different conversations based on it. So I'm telling her, I'm like, do you even understand like how this lack of gender roles and how we have had our men emasculated and removed from our households, and that why especially the black community, our African American, we find a new word, yeah, but for now I'm saying black. Our black community struggles so much because our men are not in the household and are not fulfilling this particular role. So she said, I disagree. And I said, here you go once again identifying your privilege as a white woman. You're telling me that you disagree with the impact that not having particular gender roles in the black family, how it's been destructive to our families. And once again, you're just saying you disagree, but have absolutely nothing to back that up on. No research that you claim that you have, no studies, no nothing. But you're just going to tell me that you disagree as a white woman, what goes on in the black community. So I said, okay. I said, well, you must be heavily involved in the black community for you as a white woman to feel that you can tell me about gender roles and how it's impacted the black family. So she says, yo, y'all not gonna believe this shit. She says, well, I date black men. Yeah, you can't make this shit up. So she says that she dates black men, and we kind of continue the conversation. And I don't know, it was to the point where I got to keep it real with y'all. I got to keep it real with y'all. So this person was not, without being mean, this person was not like the most attractive person in the room. You know what I mean? And I think she thought in her mind that she was like, are you vetting me? Like, are you trying to, like, when I made it very clear, fellas, y'all know you can make it very clear, like when you're not interested, like in that type of way, where it's a group of friends, and I'm like, oh yeah, all of us, yeah, we could. Oh, I'll get, we'll all of us will exchange, and you trying to have the combo when you know that maybe one of them is concentrating the conversation on you a little bit more. And shout out to Kiki. Let's see what Kiki wrote. Kiki wrote, I wonder what her motive was. Did she want to trigger you, or maybe she thought what she was doing was attractive? Kiki, I think that she thought that she, I'm gonna be real. I think that she thought that she's an extremely attractive person, and that, oh, he must like me, so let me vet him and tell him about himself if he has a chance with me. And I really think like, and this actually for me made me think about a lot of different things, like how confident some people are, where it's almost a little bit delusional. I'm gonna keep it real. It's almost a little bit delusional, and I don't know if that's because of how society. And obviously, I don't think that all women are like this. Obviously, all right. Like, do I even have to say that? But I think that because society has maybe told a certain type of woman or something like that, that or women in general, that, hey, y'all are all beautiful, y'all are amazing, you guys are God's gift, all these different things. And society encourages a lot of these. I don't know. Society encourages a lot of women, I'm just be honest, to overvalue themselves. I'm being real. Where I think that men, because you can be honest with men, you could tell a man, yo, you ugly. You know what I'm saying? You could be honest with it and critique a man, and men, we just got to take it. But if you critique a woman, we just live in a society where men are a little bit, yeah, Aunt wrote society or thirsty dudes. Yo, so all right, one or the other, right? And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think it's the dudes, and I'm gonna actually. I wasn't gonna tell the rest of the story, but based on you saying thirsty dudes, I'm gonna get into what funny happened the next day after that. But I think it's just I don't know, but the audacity for you to be able to like even have the nerve to even have these conversations and to present it in a way where I'm right, you need to listen to me, rather than the approach where it's like, hey, like, yeah, what do you think about this? Like, I want to know your opinion on this. Like, there's a way to go about certain things, as we all know. It's not always what you say, but it's how you say it. And I was just so like taken back where I'm like, yo, I got to continue this convo. So we kept it going for a sec. And there was another group that was sitting next to us. And I didn't mind them hearing the conversation. I actually wanted them to hear the conversation because I wanted to make her uncomfortable. I'm being real, because it's like, all right, you saying all this stuff. I don't mind, if other people hear the convo. I don't mind if what you're saying, and maybe I'll look crazy. Maybe you'll look crazy. But hey, let's hear. So she was getting real uncomfortable now, where that confidence was starting to shift a little bit. And the main thing that I'm getting, telling her is just like, yo, like you don't even realize like the privilege that you have to say a lot of these things, because gender roles maybe affected you and your family and your community in a different way, to where maybe why you feel the way that you feel may be justified. I don't know. I said, however, for you to come on and try to push your thoughts and opinions on me in a way where you're not even in that equation, I just thought it was kind of wild. So I was sitting here and I was like, yo, what would make her, and Kiki, I need you to answer this for me. So I said, what would make her think that she could even like have such a strong, aggressive opinion on that, to where she's not even going to take in and absorb anything that I'm saying? And my takeaway was that it's because of black women. And like I said, it always comes back to black men, like whatever. It's always going to fall on the leadership. But this specifically, why she got the confidence boost, in my opinion, was because of black women. Because I think that black women have always been targeted by women's groups, feminist groups, and manipulated to the point where it's like, hey, you're getting mistreated over there. Come join our women's group and put being a woman over being black or whatever else, your community, your village, whatever your community is. So I just feel that that's always been a thing, whether you look at, when the civil rights movement, turned into, or, I guess went from the civil rights movement to the women's movement. A lot of our women left. And let me repeat it. Yes, it all falls on the men. It all falls on the men and our lack of leadership. Done. Now, moving forward from there, I believe that she feels that she can have these comments because so many black women have allowed a lot of white women to speak on their behalf, as if they know. You see it on the View with the lady Joy, where Joy is telling her viewers that Tim Scott doesn't know. She's criticizing him and how he thinks about black issues, talking about he doesn't know what's going on in the black community. She was criticizing Tim Scott and Clarence Thomas, where it's like, yo, who gives these, like, I would never just come on and just have a conversation where it's like, yo, in the Jewish community, y'all do this, y'all do that. He don't know what's going on in Jewish. That's not my community. I'm not involved. I'm not as involved in that community or invested in that community. I don't have any skin in the game in that community, to the point where I would feel like I could just start pressing people, especially Jewish people, about their community and what's going on, how I know what's best, and what. Like, so that was just, and that was more of a story. I didn't want it to necessarily be a focus on the black versus the white, but more so a focus on, like, sometimes we live in these bubbles, where we live in these bubbles to where we think that we know any and everything. And these bubbles, we feel as if they are the true representation of what the world is. And I've had different conversations like this where, somebody will just feel like because this is my life, then this must be true. And throughout, the community, whether they're involved in the community or not. So, and real quick, what I was going to say, and the funny part about it is when I said it, when you said the thirsty dudes, the next day, bro, you're not going to believe this. The next day, I'm speaking to one of my boys. I didn't even tell him I'm speaking to one of my boys, and let's just say he's telling me about like, yo, this joint hit me up. Da, 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 da. She hit me up and was, I don't want to get into we moving on. But I would just say that instead of the thirsty dudes, a lot of times it's just these, thirsty, aggressive females, but or this female. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to put my boy out there. He may be, I don't know what his intentions are. So it is what it is. But these are just some of the thoughts that I was thinking. And it got me kind of, I'm always, digging a little deeper as to why she felt that she can have these combos. And then I got to thinking, how do we learn? How do we learn? Like everything that we learn from the time that we're either born or especially, when we get into the public school system, how do we learn? Like, do we learn by doing our own research, doing our own independent investigation? Or do we learn from, hold on, I got to address Kiki. Kiki, nah. Kiki wrote, don't blame us, blame her whiteness. LOL, she's a product of entitlement. I'm going to tell you why. I put blame on Black women with this. And let me be very clear. I'm putting the ultimate blame on the Black men. I got to keep saying that. Even I remember when Trump was running for president. There were a lot of these when he put out the grab him by the whatever video. There was a lot of women that came together and they were, saying that this is bad. A lot of Black women and white women came together. And when Trump got elected, I remember the day after they had that rally. It was like the pink pussy rally or pussy cats. They were saying like pink pussy rally in DC, which was to reject Trump or whatever. The feminist, whatever. Then when they looked at the election results, they looked at how the Black women voted compared to the white women. The white women came out, told y'all all this shit, but who did they vote with? They voted with who their husband, they voted with Trump. But then the Black women over here voted obviously against Trump in this situation. But the next day, all y'all out rallying together. So until I can't address if there's a group of white men that are speaking on my behalf and I'm making them comfortable speak on my behalf in a certain way to where a white man and I don't even want to make it really bad. If somebody in your community is speaking on something or somebody outside of your community, let's say they're speaking to Kiki, a white man talking about Black issues. Bro, I put that battery in his back to where he feels comfortable doing that. I need to address that. Like, bro, you don't know what's going on over here. You don't know what's going on. Like you I don't know what your intentions are, but you can't go into a situation that you're not involved in, that you didn't have any skin in the game with, and just think that your opinion should be valued over everybody else. That's what I'm saying. And traditionally, if you look at it, they've targeted women. Like they've targeted Black women to, whether it's with the social programs or whatever else, to not need the Black man, to make the Black man as irrelevant as possible. So that's why I said that. But moving on as far